Okay, hello Cloud Gurus and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we're going to look at geolocation routing policies. So what is geolocation routing? Well, it lets you choose where your traffic will be sent based on a geographic location of your user. And that is simply the location from which the DNS queries originate. For example, you might want all queries from Europe to be routed to a fleet of EC2 instances that are specifically configured for your European customers. So EC2 instances that might show euros, for example. These servers may have the local language of your European customers, and all prices are displayed in euros. So how does it work? You've got your European customers, they make a request to your website to Route 53. Route 53 determines where that user is, and then it will direct them to EU West 1. You've then got your US customers, they're connecting into Route 53. Route 53 then determines that they're from America, and it's going to send them to US East 1. So let's go ahead and configure this in the AWS console. Okay, so here I am in the AWS console. To set this up, I just need to go down to networking, and we're going to go over to Route 53. Going to delete our DNS records that we created in the last one. So we're going to delete these two A records. Let's go ahead and delete these record sets and hit confirm. Next, we're going to create a record set. We're going to need to get our IP addresses. Now, don't forget that because we stopped the instances and then started them again, what's going to happen is we're going to have completely new IPs, so don't let that trip you up. So I'm going to go over to my running instances. I'm going to select this one, and I'm just going to copy that into my clipboard and Alt-Tab back over. And so I'm going to paste in here. And the routing policy, we're going to make this geolocation. So Route 53 responds to queries based on the locations from which DNS queries originate. We recommend that you create a default location record set. So where do we want this location to be? So let's go ahead and say choose locations. So let's change this to North America. So anyone coming from North America, and we'll say that this is our North America set, is going to be directed to this IP address. I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Then I'm going to go and just grab my one from Sydney. So if I change this over to Sydney here, so you need to go to APAC Sydney. I'm going to go in and grab that IP address. And then I'm going to create a second record set saying that anyone who's coming from Oceania will connect into this IP address. So I'm going to copy this to my clipboard and then create record set, and we'll paste it in here. Do this for 1 minute. My routing policy, geolocation, and the location is going to be Oceania, and I'll call this Sydney. So these are my Sydney users. So my North American users should go over to North America, and I'll just quickly change this to 60 seconds as well. And then my Sydney users should come in to Oceania. So in order to test this, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a VPN, and I'm going to go and connect in to the United States. So United States in here. And let's see, that is now connected to the US. So I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to type in hello Route 53 Gurus. I'm going to hit refresh, and there we go. So it was caching it. I hit refresh, hard refresh, and now it's web server 1 Northern Virginia. If I then go and change my VPN over to come from Australia, so let's do Australia. So now disconnected from the United States, and hopefully it'll connect into Australia. There we go, it's connected to Australia. I'm going to do a hard refresh on this browser. It's now resolving the host, connecting, and it's changed over to Sydney. So there we go. That is geolocation. Not to be confused with latency. Basically, it won't take latency into account. It will literally look at your location. So what are my exam tips? Just remember what geolocation is. So we've got our European customers. They're going to helloroute53gurus.com. That will then connect them into EU West 1, whereas our US customers are going to exactly the same domain name, and that will connect them into US East 1. So Route 53 will always send your European customers to EU West 1 and your US customers to US East 1. So that is all that geolocation is. So that's it for this lecture, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, feel free to move on to the next lecture. Thank you.